And I want to change my tone. I don't want to horse around, and I don't want to be joking and things like that. I'm even closing all the tabs on here. Last week, was it last week maybe, a Gilmer County school bus flipped, all right? And it was raining, it was pouring rain. And this is for everybody out there, okay? This is for everybody out there, no matter where you're at. If you're, no matter what county, and we're not picking on Gilmer County this morning. We're using the example because it happened. So, I have heard, and stay with me because God knows I'll probably, you know, tick off 2/3 of the county with this comment. But the day the bus flipped over and the driver, which is, you know, his name is on our website. We're not getting into that. Go to FetchYourNews.com, Gilmer County. Okay? Click news. That's simple. And read all of the articles. And we just released the other article where we have the incident report. We have the accident report from the state police, Georgia State Police. So the driver is being charged. Yes, the driver is being charged that the bus turned over. Let me get some facts out. The driver is also currently under suspension. He's been suspended. Determination to terminate has not been made as of this time. I'm not aware where they're going. I'm just saying it's not been made. That I do know. I asked, and it's not been made, but the driver is currently suspended. So they're coming out of Clear Creek Middle School, and they come out, and there is a tough turn that seems to be there on Yukon, banked the wrong way. Now, I'm going to break this down. You need to listen to this, okay? So when you come out of Clear Creek and you take a right, Clear Creek Middle School, and the buses are all coming out, and some of the buses at Clear Creek Middle School go to the high school, and some go to the, they all go to the high school, and then Ellijay Elementary School goes to the high school, and they meet up, and they switch up buses, and then they go down to the middle school, or Gilmer Middle, or whatever, but anyhow. So the buses come out, and there is a bad turn that has a bad elevation to the turn. The elevation on the turn could be corrected. Could be, all right? Could be corrected. And so the guy's coming out, and it is a terrible rainy day. Well, we all remember those big mirrors, and that lets people know what lets the driver know or see what's in the back of the bus. So that being said, this particular driver on this terrible rainy day goes off the shoulder, and when he tries to correct the bus to get it back on, I went out to this. I went out to the location. I walked the entire bus tracks. I personally walked all the bus tracks, okay? All right, walked them. I watched and looked at the tires where they ran off the road, where the bus driver tried to come back. So the bus tips over. Immediately, the emergency plan goes into place, and there's no time, and these are my words, there's no clear amount of time on how to determine who's going to go to what hospitals. It's just, I guess, the emergency vehicles show up, and if there's injuries, and the first responders detect injuries, they start getting the kids in the ambulances and getting them off to the hospitals. Now, in this, you have a lot of kids with the same last names, same first names, all jokes aside. So there's a period, whether you like it or not, of determining the proper child went to the hospital. It would not be very good if a school official called your house and said your child went to the hospital and it actually was not the correct first name, okay, because it's an emergency situation to last. They're trying to gather the names and get them out. So they have to go through a period of validating that they have the correct child's name to go to the correct emergency number that you put down. So everybody slow down with some of the criticism. I'm on your side, but slow down. So they got to make sure they validate all of that. Emergency number, you know, it's a HIPAA law. Folks, you cannot call people and just say certain things due to, there's an attorney waiting, right? So they try to filter through the legality of getting you the information, all right? So I've heard the criticism on that, and I understand you wanted to know if your kid was in the hospital. I'm with you, all right? With you all the way. I've heard the criticism on the road and the terrible road conditions. I'm with you all the way, okay? I've heard all of that. I've heard the criticism of the bus. The buses now were held because parents did not want their buses, their kids, they were rushing to the high school to see if their kids was part of the accident or were they on the bus, and you had parents wanting to know immediately. And I understand, I'm always on the parent side in so many ways. I understand, all right, your child, you rush over to the high school. So they got to pull the kids off the buses that came from Clear Creek or came to other areas that transfer from the high school. Start filtering through who they have. Make sure the parents that want to pick the kids up meet all the requirements. Again, there's always an attorney waiting. You know, wrong person picks the kid up, or a dad or a mom that doesn't have custody picks the kid up. I mean, it's a crazy-ass world we're living in, folks. I mean, you know, you got a dad runs up there. Now, nothing against dads. I love the dads of the world, but you got a dad that runs up there that doesn't have custody, right? And he says, this is my kid, and picks him up. Oh my God, just think what happened there. Same if a mom shows up. All that being said, they've got to validate that the legal guardian that is on the paperwork of the child can pick them up. Now, Gilmer County Charter School System did not create this bureaucracy. The federal government and the state of Georgia really had a lot to help and do with this, okay? But they have to follow all of this to make sure they do everything by the book. So I've heard all the criticism, and I agree for the most part. Could Yukon Road, could there be a correction in Yukon Road to make things safer for all people traveling there? Yes. Could there be an emergency plan for if a bus turns over and there's an accident, not that there's not one, that would better meet the needs to get notification to you? Yeah, sure, maybe there can be. Could there be a better plan of how to handle this kind of situation on the bus transfers? All of the above. There could be a better plan. Corrections can be made. Stay with me. Corrections can be made in all of these areas. But what do we do about the little kids on the back that like to let it fly? Huh? Oh my God, no, not your angel. God knows your angel did not say a bad word. Folks, let me say something, because I probably have done made everybody mad, and I personally just do not care, okay? But you see the buses everywhere. And what do they say on the school buses? Drivers needed. They park these buses, not Gilmer, everywhere. Big banners, drivers needed. And it's not the worst pay in the world. It's not they can't find drivers because the pay is so bad. It's not they can't find drivers because there's no benefits. I mean, it's not the best. But there's a good percentage of the reason they can't find drivers is because they drive your little angels for about 2 weeks and they say, no, I'm not interested in that anymore. I'm serious. Look, folks, I got 4 minutes. I put on this show every single day my phone number, 706-889-9700. 706-889-9700. Yesterday at 4 o'clock, I received a phone call, and I'm going to say the young lady was around 14. I don't know. And the minute I picked up the phone and said, "Fetch your news," and I heard the voice, I knew I was talking to a child. Immediately I allowed this young lady to know. I said, "Listen, I could tell immediately you're not over 18 years old. I could tell immediately you're a child. So I want you to know right now, you're to never give me your name during this conversation. Do you understand? You're to never give me your name or any information. You got that?" They said they understood. I said, "Why are you calling me today?" This young lady said, "I was on the bus, and I know what really happened." Now, I'm not drawing a conclusion. I want to make sure you understand that. There's an investigation going on. There's an internal investigation. She said, "I know what happened, and it wasn't the bus driver's fault." Now, that's what was said to me. And I said, "Can you tell me what happened?" Well, this young lady took about 2 minutes to explain to me what happened, and I asked a couple questions. I do not know her name. I thanked her for calling, and I thanked her for calling and telling me what took place. I don't know who it is to this day. But let me tell you something. All the complaining I've heard the rumors of fighting. I've heard the rumors of this. I've heard the rumors of that. But I'm going to tell you what I do keep coming back to. I keep coming back to one, if not two boys. I'm going to say boys. Flying with the F word. Okay? Flying with the F word. Okay? And guess what? I went down yesterday and I picked up the total code of conduct. All right? Flying with the F word. Now, I asked this young lady yesterday where she was sitting on the bus. She told me. I said, "Were these two boys using the F word loud enough that you could hear it all the way to the front of the bus?" And she said, "Yes, they were using it that loud." Well, let me tell you something, parents. The parents out there that don't want little Jill and little Bobby to hear that kind of language shouldn't have to put up with it. So I'm digging a little further into this thing. But for all of the comments about Yukon Road, for all of the comments about, the way the school handled the emergency and got the notification out and the school buses up at the high school, you know what? There was some major F-bombs being thrown on that bus by kids, so loud. And this driver was looking up in the mirror on a very bad day, my understanding, and trying to tell these kids to stop it, and lost control of the bus. I keep hearing it's the driver's fault. I think tomorrow we'll come back and talk a little more about those two little angels in the back that were letting it fly. Because there's something else to this story that you don't know yet that I'm going to share tomorrow. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We'll be back. Oh, wait. Don't go. It's Thursday, right? So that means we're going to be at Circuit World in Blue Ridge tomorrow. And that means we're going to have Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley. And that means we're going to have the All-Star panel with Rick, Jane, and Bruce. That means we're going to have sports, Team FYN Sports with Jason Banks, and our pet of the week from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. Tomorrow morning, Blue Ridge. That's where we'll be, Circuit World. Take us out of here, Amanda.